We looked over and there was probably 8 guys pushing over the big rock.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most infamous times beloved tourist attractions across the globe were damaged by the actions of thoughtless, entitled, and moronic people.
Now look at this abomination!
Number 20. The Sycamore Gap Tree, Northumberland, England. For around 150 years, the Sycamore Gap Tree stood near Hadrian's Wall in Northumberland, England. This iconic tree, set in the dip between 2 hills, became so famous that it even featured in 1991's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. However, in 2023, there was national outrage when the old tree was senselessly chopped down.
It looks like it's somebody who's known what they're doing. It's clearly machinery's been used to do it.
Due to Storm Agnes, locals didn't hear the local landmark being demolished.
I looked up and thought, there's something wrong. That does not look right.
During the police investigation, 2 men were eventually charged with destroying the tree. In 2024, the duo pled not guilty and are set to face trial in April 2025. The National Trust estimated the healthy stump could take up to 200 years to develop a similar tree to what was once there. In 2024, the stump began sprouting. Number 19. Ta Phe Gate, Chiang Mai, Thailand. In the Thai city of Chiang Mai sits the Ta Phe Gate, which marks the entrance into the ancient part of the settlement founded in 1296.
Here it is. What?
With all that history, you'd expect tourists to be respectful, right? Well, apparently not. In 2018, people awoke in Chiang Mai to find Scouser Lee spray-painted on the ancient gate's wall. Even if there wasn't CCTV footage of the crime taking place, the tag could easily be traceable to one nearby person, Lee Furlong. After all, Scouse is slang for someone from Liverpool, England, and that's where he was from.
Have you seen this man before?
Some kind of Scouser, I think. Scouse.
He was arrested alongside Canadian Brittany Schneider. Furlong was given 2 years of parole and fined around $6,000. Number 18. The Meiji Jingu Shrine, Tokyo, Japan. There's a strange epidemic when it comes to tourists visiting ancient sites and graffitiing monuments with initials. In 2024, it was the turn of the Meiji Jingu Shrine in Tokyo, Japan.
Meiji Shrine is the largest shrine in Japan, covering 170 acres with the forest, the gardens, and the buildings.
Dedicated in 1920 to honor Emperor Meiji and Empress Shoken, the Shinto shrine was defaced by American Stephen Lee Hayes. He carved initials believed to be referring to his family into a wooden pillar at the monument's entrance. However, unluckily for Hayes, after the markings were discovered by staff, they reviewed the site's CCTV and saw him seemingly making the indents with his fingernail. He was arrested the following day at his hotel.
He could face up to 3 years in prison or a fine of around $1,900 US.
Number 17. Goblin Valley State Park's Hoodoo, Emery, Utah. Scattered throughout Goblin Valley State Park in Emery, Utah are hoodoos, also known as goblins, tent rocks, and many other names.
Hoodoos are formations of mushroom-shaped sandstone, and Goblin Valley has the highest occurrences of these in the world.
They're unusual thin spires of rock, some of which have ties to Native American history. Well, in 2013, a group of men recorded themselves knocking a hoodoo over as they giggled.
Yeah!
Weirdly, they claimed they were doing a civic service as the rock could have hurt someone, despite one putting in a lot of effort to knock it over. As well as facing criminal charges, 2 of those involved, Glenn Taylor and David Hall, were dropped as leaders in the Boy Scouts. The duo pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charges and received a year of probation and thousands in fines and costs. Number 16. The Senator, Longwood, Florida. For an estimated 3,500 years, the especially named bald cypress tree, the Senator, stood in the Big Tree Park in Longwood, Florida, making it one of the oldest trees in the world. But all that changed in 2012.
From Chopper 2, we could see the big tree completely ablaze. It was breaking news, which broke hearts.
It's part of our history as a family.
One night, Sarah Barnes lit a fire in the hollow trunk so she could use illegal substances. However, the flames spread and engulfed the tree, destroying it. Now, only its burnt-out husk remains.
A neighbor was shocked.
I heard about that and I was horrified. That's a big part of Florida's culture.
A clone of the senator was planted near the park's entrance, aptly named the Phoenix. In 2014, Barnes received a suspended sentence, ordered to do community work, and had to pay $12,000 in restitution. However, due to another arrest that violated her probation, Barnes was sentenced to 30 months in 2016. Number 15. Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum, Oświęcim, Poland. When walking into the Auschwitz I concentration camp at the Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum in Oświęcim, Poland, you're greeted by the infamous iron gates with a sign stating Arbeit macht frei, meaning work makes you free in English. However, in 2009, the sign was stolen.
A profanity, said a spokesman for the Auschwitz Museum. It is unbelievable, sad, and frustrating.
While it was found days later, it had been cut into 3 pieces. A replacement was put up in its place. The broken sign was repaired and is safe inside the museum.
It's impossible to imagine who'd steal the sign, said Poland's chief rabbi, but whoever did has vandalized world memory.
The theft was arranged by Swedish far-right extremist Anders Hagström, who planned to sell it to collectors. In 2010, Hagström was sentenced to 2 years and 8 months in a Swedish jail, while the 5 Polish men who committed the theft received various sentences. Number 14. Moai, Easter Island, Chile. Believed to have been built by the Rapa Nui people between 1250 and 1500. The Moai statues on Easter Island, Chile, have baffled people since Europeans arrived on the island in 1722, leading to many conspiracy theories.
How did they move these? Because you're talking about, tons and tons, and you don't have the modern equipment we have now.
Yeah, that's right.
In 2008, Finland's Marko Kuulio checked out the human-like figures made from volcanic rock. Yet he wanted a particular souvenir, one of the figure's earlobes, so he chipped it off. However, a local woman caught him trying to smuggle it away. Upon Kuulio's arrest, the island's mayor, Edmunds Paoa, demanded an ear for an ear. Yikes! Instead of that punishment, Kuulio was fined $17,000 and ordered not to return to the island for 3 years.
Do you feel the connection to your ancestors through the statues?
Yes, she really feels that one because she's from that ancestral people.
Number 13. The House of Chei and the House of Vestal Virgins, Pompei, Italy. In 79 AD, the city of Pompei in Italy was engulfed in volcanic debris from Mount Vesuvius. Since being rediscovered in the 1500s, it's become an incredibly preserved piece of ancient history for people to walk around in. However, instead of enjoying the experience with respect, in 2024, one tourist from Kazakhstan was recorded carving his name into a wall, only getting as far as ALI before he was stopped. The tourist was arrested and expected to pay for the restorations. Several weeks later, a British tourist was caught engraving family initials and dates into a wall on the House of Vestal Virgins. Due to these and other incidents, Italy increased fines to historical sites up to nearly $66,000.
For those of us about to die, we salute you.
Number 12. Machu Picchu, Peru. Known as one of the wonders of the world, millions of tourists flock to the ancient Incan citadel of Machu Picchu in Peru every year.
Located northwest of Cusco, Peru, Machu Picchu is a testament to the power and ingenuity of the Inca people.
However, in 2020, a group of 6 international tourists did something gross that ruined the iconic place. They were found in a restricted part of the Temple of the Sun and had damaged some of the stonework by causing a crack. To make it even worse, they'd also defecated there. Yep.
That is disgusting.
Unsurprisingly, the group was arrested and deported from the country. One Argentinian, Nahuel Gomez, was sentenced to 3 years and 4 months. However, due to having no criminal record, Gomez was spared jail if he followed conditions, but he was fined around $1,900. Number 11. The Colosseum, Rome, Italy. Unveiled in 80 AD, the Colosseum in Rome, Italy became famous for its gladiatorial fights.
Are you not entertained?
However, its rich legacy doesn't stop people from ruining it. In 2020, an Irish man was arrested as he was carving his initials into a pillar. Then in 2023, Ivan Dimitrov, who lived in England, was recorded etching Ivan plus Haley 23 into the wall.
Serious, man?
After Italian authorities uncovered his identity, Dimitrov wrote an apology letter to the city's mayor where he also claimed he didn't know how old the Colosseum was. He was fined around $1,000. However, Dmitriev's lawyer stated the officials hadn't provided him with an IBAN to make an international transfer.
The beating heart of Rome is not the marble of the Senate, it's the sand of the Colosseum.
Number 10. Casados Moros Dolman, Vigo, Spain. Despite the fact that there are so many morons doing moronic things in this world, it's always kind of shocking when things like this happen. A popular tourist attraction in Vigo, Spain is the Casa dos Moros Dolman, a 4,000-year-old megalithic stone formation. In 2016, someone spray-painted one of the dolmen stones with a symbol from Harry Potter of all things, and wrote "Always" with what appears to be an emoticon heart at the end. It's honestly an inexplicable action and defies any common sense. Dolmens are believed by archaeologists to be tombstones and grave sites, so not only is this immature, it is highly disrespectful.
Treacherous little bleeder. Is there no one we can trust?
Number 9. Margate Beach, Margate, England. This is something that happens frequently, but let's just pick out one beach in particular. Margate in Kent, UK, refers to itself as the original seaside on tourist sites, and is home to many attractions such as a theme park and art galleries. In 2019, an event attracting around 500 people was held on the beach, in addition to the number of usual beachgoers. The event was provided with trash bins, bags, and plenty of provisions to not make a huge mess in the sand. This was all futile, however, as visitors were said to leave a heartbreaking amount of litter on the beach. The seagulls were thrilled, humans not so much.
Andy? Are you gonna clean that up?
Oh yeah, I will.
Number 8. The Cliffs of Moher, Ireland. The Cliffs of Moher were naturally formed over 320 million years ago and are a unique geological wonder to behold on the coast of Ireland. They've been declared part of a UNESCO Global Geopark, which means that there is extra effort to conserve the location and its awe-striking visuals. However, we clearly can't have nice things.
This particular location is out of the way. It won't be visible to tourists by and large. My concern is that other people, copycat, will do other artwork.
In 2013, 2 French graffiti artists who go by Mama and Dirty Edouard decided to spray paint an 8 by 6 foot swirly, multicolored, and impossibly unwelcome abstract piece of street art on the cliffs. Why? Just why?
Why would you do such a foolish thing?
Geologists were quick to assess the damage, some saying that erosion and waves will likely naturally remove the paint. However, it could take years and possibly decades to entirely disappear.
The rock's 300 million years old. It's got its own natural beauty. It's weathered by the waves, the wind, over vast periods of time. That's what people come to see. They don't come to see somebody spray painting it.
Number 7. The Little Mermaid statue, Copenhagen, Denmark. Copenhagen's most famous statue, the Little Mermaid, has been victim to vandalism an astonishing number of times over the years.
Well, look at what the catfish dragged in. Look at you, look at you. There's something different.
It seems people have seen the piece fit for a number of protest declarations. The statue was commissioned in 1909 and has since been beheaded twice, had her arms sawed off, was found floating in the harbor, held some adult toys, and has been covered in paint a couple of times. In 2020, a vandal spray-painted the words "racist fish" onto the stone beneath the mermaid without any direct explanation. A number of monuments have been defaced in the past few years with explanations. It's hard to see what the character that would eventually become Ariel did to anybody, however. Number 6. 15 statues, Parque Museo La Venta, Tabasco, Mexico. The problem with allowing tourists to view historical objects in a large open space is that they are much too close to the artifacts.
Stay back! Kaiju specimens are extremely rare, so look but don't touch!
This has often been an issue in the British Museum for the same reason. The Parque Museo La Venta is a stunning outdoor museum and park in which visitors can view centuries-old Olmec culture sculptures. In 2018, 2 men, tourists from Indonesia, were taken into custody after damaging 15 of these sculptures by pouring oil all over them. 15! It's difficult to know why anyone would do this, but thankfully, these 2 idiots were caught. Number 5. Aelia Trees, Liangshan, China. The Sichuan province of China is home to an incredibly beautiful bloom of azalea trees and idyllic scenery. Because of this, thousands of tourists flock to the area in their cars, blocking local traffic and life. That's not the worst part, however. The tourists can't just look with their eyes. Aside from the trash left everywhere, tourists have been known to uproot and steal the azalea trees, tear the branches off to get better pictures, and even use the azalea branches to start barbecue fire pits. Azalea trees can only grow 2,800 feet above sea level atop mountains, and are thus delicate to begin with. These are earthly wonders that will rapidly disappear with continued barbaric behaviors.
And by the way, smoking, don't. Apparently it wilts the azaleas.
Number 4. The Duckbill Rock Formation, Oregon, U.S. The Duckbill was a sandstone rock in Cape Cowanda State Natural Area in Oregon, U.S. It was an ancient hoodoo formation, which is basically a tall, thin spire naturally resembling a duck's head, hence its nickname. The key word here is was, as it's no longer there. In 2016, a group of teenagers decided to topple the formation over, destroying it.
Got him! The search is on today for these knuckleheads who toppled an iconic rock formation.
Over the years, the structure had become weakened from the abundant amount of visitors climbing it, so the park had erected a fence around it to avoid tourist contact. Claiming to be doing the park a public service to avoid accidents, sure. The teens pushed the rock until it collapsed and shattered.
Kind of just like laughed it off, took it with pride that they destroyed something magnificent, and then just kind of disappeared right after.
Number 3. The Hot Springs, Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming. Yellowstone is known for its impressive natural hot springs, and many a tourist has done stupid things in or around them. However, this one is a slow burn caused by a large number of visitors. Morning Glory is one of the most famous springs. Images from the 1940s show the spring in its former glory, pun intended, with a tropical blue hue, hence its floral name. However, recent photos show the spring is now a dark green, edged with yellow and orange.
Guests started complaining of a strange colored water and also a foul odor.
This has been proven recently to be due to the abundant amount of pennies, rocks, and general trash tourists throw into Morning Glory. If your penny wish was to ruin a stunning natural phenomenon, congratulations. Number 2. 7 U.S. National Parks, U.S. Social media has really led to some moronic behavior in the past decade or so.
Don't Instagram that.
Over 26 days in the fall of 2014, 23-year-old Casey Knockett defaced government property in 7 U.S. national parks with her graffiti, which consisted of her mediocre artwork and Instagram handle. She claims to have done so, quote, in the name of art. But that's a little hard to believe, given the social media info provided.
Knockett even bragged about using acrylic paint. And when an Instagram user told her it would be difficult to wipe off rock, she replied, "I know, I'm a bad person."
Due to said info, she was quickly tracked down and caught by authorities. Knockett was subsequently sentenced to 2 years probation and is banned from all government-owned parks. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Number 1. The Pyramids and the Sphinx, Egypt. Arguably the most recognizable tourist attractions, the Egyptian pyramids and the Sphinx are subject to decline due to massive amounts of visitors. There are some natural phenomena at work here, such as breath and humidity from tourists in abundance doing damage to the ancient structure walls. However, there is, of course, a human stupidity element as well. Once again, people can't just use their eyes. Tourists have been known to chip away at the rocks on the attractions to get souvenirs, as well as flat out steal parts of artifacts and illegally climb the structures. In 2013, the Temple of Luxor was defaced by a teenage tourist who wrote the classic "So-and-so was here" on ancient Egyptian artwork. Bravo!
It was an accident.
What other tourist attraction that was ruined by morons did we miss from our list? Let us know below.
So what do you guys think about the fact that you can't actually go there to Moai Bay?
I think that probably there is a good reason because people destroyed this beach before us.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.